Hi everyone, welcome back to the Azure tutorial series. In the previous video, I discussed Azure subscription and understood how Azure organizes billing, access, and services. Today, we are going to do a quick recap of subscription. Let's start with the recap. Then we will learn two important Azure concepts: resource groups and containers. These are the fundamental building blocks in Microsoft Azure. So let's restart with the recap of Azure subscription. So first, let's quickly revise what a subscription is. An Azure subscription is like a billing and management boundary inside Azure. Think of it like a main account that contains all your resources and services. For example, if a company creates virtual machines, databases, storage accounts, or APIs in Azure, all those resources are built under a subscription. A subscription helps with billing management. It helps in access control as well and resources limits as well. So it will help you to track the cost for your resources. In the real companies, different subscription may be used for the different environments, for different department as well. For example, they can have a different subscription for the dev environment, and for the test environment, they can have a different subscription, and for production, they have a different. There may be a reason because for development they need less resources, and for the production they need a more resources. So it will help them to separate their workload and manage the cost properly. Now let's start with the resource group. A resource group is a logical container that holds related Azure resources. Like if you have the group of resources and you want to use for the dev environment, so you will create a one resource group for dev environment. Okay, for example, suppose you are building a web application. That application may need a virtual machine, database, storage account, networking services, and all these resources can be grouped together inside one resource group. This makes management more easy, right? For example, imagine a company for an application called Employee Portal. The company may create a resource group named Employee Portal Prod RG. RG stands for Resource Group. Inside this resource group, they may place app service, libraries, dependencies, Azure SQL database, storage account, application insights for monitor the application and networking resources. So this help administrator to manage everything together. Benefits of resource groups. Resource groups help with better management or organizing the resources, managing permissions for the resources, or monitoring the cost of the resources, and developing deploying infrastructure together, deleting related resources together. This is very important thing you should remember. If you delete a one resource group, you're going to delete all the resources under that resource group. So you must pay attention for that. So administrators should be very careful before deleting the resource group. Now your account is ready to create and deploy computing resources in Azure portal. So there are a couple of options available to create and consume those resources. First, I will give you overview of the container. Let's simple example for container. You buy a bulk order for from other country to start your business. Now the question, how will you get your stored? The companies are using containers for shipping. The next question, do they need to buy a container for the shipping or they can hire the container? No, that's right. Right? If they will buy the container, that will increase their business cost. So they will hire the container. The same way, if a business wants to create application to get customers from multiple countries to use their application, to run those applications, they need different types of libraries and software to build that application. Right. Here, the containers will be the fastest and quick solution to build and deploy an application. Now, what is container? Containers are lightweight environment used to package and run applications. Containers include application code, runtime engines, it can be Java or any other engines, libraries, and the dependencies for the application, which is required to create the application. And this ensures the application runs consistently everywhere. Steps to create deploy container image. Now, we are on Azure portal. Here we can see we have a subscription. Now we are going to create a resource group. Here we will create one resource group. So this is showing the default subscription which I created yesterday. And now pick the resource group name. Resource group can be any name. I am giving a resource demo RG. Okay, so now the region. Region is the location of the data center where you want to run your application on the server. Right. So always pick the location which is near to you. It will help you to reduce the cost. Okay. So I'm in Australia. I'm using this Australia Southeast. Okay. So now click on next. So you can add your tags. Okay. So I don't need currently any tags. So I will review and create the resource group. Click on create. So it will deploy the one resource group. Just wait for a couple of seconds. Once the resource group is ready, we will create the container for our application. Just see the progress for the resource group is created. Now go to resource group. Here I can see one resource group is ready. I need to refresh the, and now you can see on the home page two resources are there. One is subscription and another one is resource group, right? So now I would like to create a container. For that, I will search for the container images. I will pick the container instances. Click on the create option. Now you need to provide the details. I'm giving here subscription resource group. I will pick this one. Now you need to give the container name. Container name can be the name whatever you like for your application. Okay, so that is already there. Container. So what is it saying? The container must contain only lowercase letters. So okay, maybe it is not. So that was the issue. Okay, now we will. Okay, so now we have already selected this region. Now there are the options. We have the three types of sources for the image. So quick start image, Azure container registry or other registry. I will pick the quick start image. Okay, and you keep this default values. Then for the okay, so now that is under final validation is running. They will go and check all the values are there which is required to create the containers. So my container is a Linux type. Okay, so you can see operating system is Linux. This is the subscription name, this is the resource group name, this is the reason, and this is the container name. This is a standard, and this is the image path. Okay, and this is I'm using very basic image. I don't need currently more space to run this my application, right? So I'm using the standard basic one with the small data availability for this. Now I will click on create. It will take few seconds. So deployment is running. You can see initializing deployment. So yeah, so you can see it, the deployment is in the progress. So when you select the image type or the size, you always consider one thing. If you are creating the containers for some business that needs a more uh, capacity or more data size, because they otherwise they will run they will face issues for the resource availability or the CPU outage and these types of issues. To avoid those issues, it is you always pick a right size for your business. Okay, and I am using the basic one. And one more thing, don't forget to delete these resources if you are not using, if you are just using this for the learning purpose, because otherwise you will end up with the billing unnecessarily cost. Okay, so it's still deployment is in progress. We'll see. So you see, I will show you one thing, like here in the Azure portal, that is under progress. I open this, you can see now I have three resources available, more than, like, first we create the subscription, then a resource group, now demo container, right? So now this is there. Okay, thanks guys for watching this video. Please follow and subscribe this channel for more videos and updates. Thank you. We'll see you next video.